we filming? 10 out of 10. Even wearing a DB shirt, that's professional. G'day boys and girls, Dom here. So today we're going to be talking about the most riveting part of knife making. This is some exciting shit. We're talking about packaging. Now, as you can tell, I haven't been on YouTube for a whole lot. Reason being is COVID made life very interesting. It's been just go, 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 go for the last 2 months. Just trying to get stuff out the door. We've signed on some new distributors. So we've now got Battery Bar in Adelaide and Altona's Silberwerkstatt. I don't really know how to pronounce that, but in Germany. So those orders are going out today. Our Battery Bar's already out there. They've actually got stock right now in Adelaide. So if you're in Adelaide, you want to see some knives, check them out. And then Germany is going to be going out tomorrow, and that's going to be going off there. They've got a whole bunch of surgeons and all that sort of stuff. But I figured I'd kind of get back in the whole YouTube rhythm thing, and we'll do packaging because, you know, I think it's interesting. And I've also completely redone my office / packaging setup, and I want to show it off. You know, I can prove that I'm organized sometimes. So this right here is our packaging setup. Now, I've been really getting into this whole organization thing and trying to have everything in hand so not everything is total chaos like it usually is. So first up, we have these bags. I'm still shipping with Australia Post. May switch to a courier in the future. I haven't really found the need to yet, but it's starting to get to the point where I think it's necessary. So I just order these in bulk, usually in a pack of 100, and they work. You can get cheap ones. I just always seem to fall back to these ones because I can buy them from Australia Post and I don't have to order them in or anything. And for the money you spend, you're saving 30 cents a bag, which I know adds up, but you know, it. We've also got these little boxes. So I get these things die cut. These are actually die cut by a place that is literally up the street from me. I could walk there. Local Australian made, everything Australian made, even the boxes are Australian made. So, you know, that's something. They don't come with logos, but we stick them on them ourselves. And, you know, boxes and all that sort of stuff get stored here. Over here we have packing peanuts for packing peanut things, biodegradable, so they break down. And we have bubble wrap as well, and a bin. This is one of the best things I ever did. A bin right here means I have somewhere to sort of assemble it and then chuck it over there, and I don't have this pile of just crap that kind of builds up in the corner here. And the whole thing is built around this sort of packing and shipping area. So I use the top of this as a workbench. Now that I look at it, I actually want to put a soft surface on that. That'd be a really good idea. I'm actually going to make a note for that. And in here we have stock. So at the moment we don't have a whole lot of stock. Up here is stuff to be shipped. So if somebody orders something and they order something down the road and they want to hang on to or combine shipping, it'll go up here. Down here we have stock, except for that needs to go out. Someone needs to pick that up. And then down here we have the stuff we store for wholesale. Trying to be organized and all that, and we're going to just run through packaging up one of these surgeons real quick. So you can package up one of these surgeons today. Now I ran a pre-order on these a few months ago, and we kind of ran into some issues. We're still on time. I might be about a week or two late, but that is because the Cerakote has been giving us a whole lot of issues. So I actually had these knives done about a month and a half ago, and then we're having all sorts of issues with the actual Cerakote, which is something we've never had an issue before, but it just wasn't spraying properly. It wasn't spraying consistently, and it was just being a nightmare. So I probably get all 60 knives back. You'd have a look at them, and then out of that 60, about 50 of them had to get resprayed. That means you strip back the coating and completely respray it. And I've been kind of just whittling through the pre-order list like that, you know, getting them back. Oh, these are good, these are good, these are shit. Send them back, get them resprayed, and it's just been that for, you know, twice a week, every week for the last, you know, month and a half. Orange especially has been giving us the most issues. If you've got an orange surgeon, that knife has probably been Cerakoted like 4 or 5 times. I don't know what it is. My Cerakoters don't know what it is. We're assuming that it's an actual bad batch of Cerakote where it just doesn't spray properly. But you kind of get lucky, and then every now and then one of them works. So we're kind of working through it. We think we've figured out the issue, and the last batch came through pretty good. Pretty good meaning half of them were okay. And we're kind of whittling our way through it. I'm probably being very picky, but I want the coating on these things to be, you know, perfect. You know, like on a high-end vehicle, you want that thing to be perfectly clear. You don't want any cloudiness, you don't want any spots, all that sort of stuff. And if that means the project's going to take an extra week or two, so be it. So yeah, we're going to package up one of these ones. This is in blue titanium. Now, one thing about the surgeons that most people don't seem to realize is that they get sheath gunk on them, is what I call it. So essentially, if I bring this up to the camera, I don't know if it's going to focus on there, but there's like a grey line right there. And that's actually the sheath breaking in. So when you get these things brand new, they're going to sort of make that grey mark right there. And some people are worried that it's the coating stripping off. Cerakote's not going to come off that easy, guys. It's a ceramic-based coating. It's bloody tough. What that actually is the sheath breaking in. So the sheath's actually wearing away, and you get a little bit of plastic. Now that goes away over time, but when you first get your knife, what you want to do is, if it's bothering you, just wipe it back with some WD-40, and that comes off instantly. Now, as I said, as you use it, it'll kind of break in a little bit, and over time, and it'll just be, it'll work properly for you. Now, when you're doing this, watch out. These are screaming sharp, and they will cut you if you're not careful. Snaps in beautifully. Now, I'll bring you down here. We'll actually run through packaging them. So the first thing I do is I have a quick look over, make sure there's nothing I missed, no dings or scuffs or anything like that, and then we do a quick little cut test. Now, we have tested it before, but if it's been stored, for instance, you want to make sure that the knife hasn't accidentally been dinged somewhere, and if I'm paying attention, it'll cut cleanly. You know, there's no rolls or chips in that edge that you've missed. So that's good to go, and we've got to start packaging it. So first thing I'm going to do is we're going to grab one of these. We knock out the little inserts in there. Now these are craft paper, so these are actually they're the nicer version of the boxes you can get. I just think it looks nice to kind of have that sort of a high-end looking box is kind of important. It's very nice presentation. I think that's very important when you buy a nice knife. So this is just a warranty and care information. Just slap that in there. I like to chuck some Mentos in there. I get the fruit ones because they're the best. Throw in a little decal as well, and then you chuck your knife in there. Then I fill it up with some of this void fill packing peanuts in there as well. Just stop it rattling around in there. And it kind of protects the box. They are getting shipped all over the world, and the boxes do sometimes take a beating. Now, I actually put the vinyl stickers on myself. Reason being is I got a quote to have these things with a foil logo chucked in there, and it was going to cost more than the boxes. So I figured I'd rather get the stickers vinyl cut, and just be careful when I put them on. So have a look at it. That wasn't so flash. Check it again. Apparently I can't see. That looks pretty good to me. Rub it flat, especially around the edges. And then we kind of peel it back carefully. Now, if this was going to go into storage, I'd have a print out a sticker label here. We stick it on the side there that will say surgeon, the date it was made, the steel, and the color, just so we can kind of store it in there, and that my wholesalers can actually store it on their shelves. But yeah, that was pretty much good to go. Then we're going to grab a little bit of bubble wrap, and we're probably going to start moving away from bubble wrap just because it's horrible for the planet. I'm not the biggest greenie in the whole world, but I'm not a huge fan of plastic anything. So we're going to try and move away from that. So if you've got any other ideas other than bubble wrap, I know there's like some cardboard stuff that I'm kind of looking into right now, but the stuff I'm looking at, it doesn't store very nicely, and you just end up with this giant roll of shit that I have to store somewhere. Now, one of my little pet peeves, right, is when you buy something and the guys have just gone over the top wrapping it. So, for instance, I bought a knife a while ago from another maker, and he had bubble wrap, wrapped the knife up in bubble wrap, and then he taped the whole knife with tape over every single inch of it. And essentially what happens is you're, fighting with it, trying to open it up for 10 minutes because you don't want to get a knife on there because you're going to scratch your knife. So I want this knife to be as easy to take out as possible. So that when you get it and you're all excited and all that and you want to open up your knife, you don't grab another knife and accidentally scar it or cut through the tape and put a big ding in your blade or your sheath, and that's just no fun. And B is I ship these knives all around the world, and part of that means that every now and then they get inspected by customs officials, and universally customs officials I found are not the most caring people for your packaging. So I want to make it as easy for them as possible. I want to set them up for success so they're not going to mess up all the hard work I've put into these knives. So I wrap it around with masking tape, fold over the end, squash it flat, and then I'll put pull and an arrow there so that, you know, anyone can come in, grab it, open it up, and you're not bringing any tools to the knife. You're not risking damaging the knife. So that's pretty well packed up, and we've got to pack it up in one of these little bags right here. So I just throw it in there. I stuff some void fill around the bag. Again, this is totally overkill and unnecessary, but people tend to hang onto their box, so I want the box to look nice when it gets to them. Now, obviously, we could go more intense than this. We could actually put a box inside another box, but at that point, it's just going to get so expensive to ship it that I don't think it's worthwhile. Wrap it up. And that's good to go. A little bit of sticky tape. And that's just sort of reinforce the box. I don't want it to be easy for someone to break into one of these things. I want them to actually use a knife on this to open it. The reason being is if someone's going to steal it in the post, I don't want there to be a little pull tab, you know, and it's very easy for them to open it up and then take your shit. So I actually tape down all the pull tabs, and I go over the whole thing with tape, just to make sure that the box is safe. Now this one in particular is going to go overseas to Canada. So we'll just stick it down. I'm going to go stick over this because the glue here isn't best, so I'm going to cover up over the glue to kind of give it the best chance of success possible. So one way across and then twice this way, and that means if one of these edges, you know, breaks, the knife's not going to fall out, you know. Just trying to set it up for success. So now I've shipped thousands of things over the last 5 years. And in those 5 years, I've had 2 things gone missing in the post. Now, this is a very secure method for me, and it's worked. Never had too many issues. Now from here, because this is going to Canada, I've got to fill out one of these bullshit forms and stick it on the front, and then that's going to be good to go. Obviously, I'm not going to run you through filling out this form because it's got my information on there and it's got the customer's information on there. But that's it. So I kind of do that for a couple hours, and then I fill up this crate with shipping stuff, and I drop it off at the post office. I got like a little scan card, so you get like a good discount on them sometimes. But yeah, that's essentially shipping. So not the most interesting video. I'm just trying to get in the hang of doing videos again, and, you know, get back into the rhythm of being a productive content creator, you know, like I used to be back when I was cool. But anyway, thanks for watching the video, guys. If you're interested in one of my knives, I have a DB Blades end of financial year sale. It is expiring tonight at midnight. So if you want to grab anything off the website, every single item on my website is on sale right now. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next video.